Compute. Science.
Josh, Zuby Zabrickus. These pretzels are making Zuby thirsty.
Gavin from TerraTech Industries.
Hey, this is Matt the Crypt, and you should be watching Wi-Fi over.
I'm Dustin, king of the airwaves. Hello, la la la.
All right, guys, welcome. This is our podcast episode number 155. This is our podcast number 17. Wow, we're not doing well tonight. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Don't lump us in with you.
Yeah, so true.
Bringing the whole show down.
Yeah, guys, my name is Todd Ansich. Thank you very much for joining us in the podcast studio. We have Josh Zuby Zabrickus.
Sup?
Joe Kimson from Flaggers Paintball.
Greetings, how are you?
Jamie King from, we'll have to find out where you're from shortly.
Easy. We gotta consult our lawyers first.
For sure. We also have Matt the Crypt pushing buttons and doing all the production.
Hoi hoi.
And Seb.
Buongiorno.
There you go. Thank you very much. All right, guys. So this is our after show / podcast. If you're watching us live, thank you for joining us. If you're watching us or listening to us in Rewind, that means you found us on iTunes or Podomatic from an Android device. So this week, guys, PSP Dallas is just around the corner.
Yes.
This weekend. Games start as early as when? Probably Thursday this week, I would say. All right, guys. What we're going to do is we have a couple things to get to. We have Nick Slowiak from Houston Heat, who'll be calling in a moment, and we'll get him on the show, as well as we have a raft of your questions that we're going to get to on the show as well.
A raft?
A raft.
Oh, Nikes. A raft.
Yeah. Why don't we hit one question first, and we'll see if we can't get Nick on the show in the meantime. Anyone have a question?
Yeah, this seems quite pressing.
Right.
I could tell by your voice that...
Yeah. Zachary Thomas Beatty asks, Pinocchio Speed getting an extended nose anytime soon?
What? Yes, and we actually have an answer to that question, but I don't have it handy. So let me get that in for you in just a second.
So I shouldn't have asked that question.
Wrong question, Matt.
It was too pressing. So hang tight on that, and I will
Too
get
hot
to that.
to handle.
Give us an easy one.
All right, so
Throw us a lob ball.
All right. Seb asks, when is Dymatrix coming out with an OLED board integrated?
Wow, my question made it to the podcast.
Finally,
Yeah.
Woohoo! I made it. I
right.
quit.
Well, it's not something I can comment on right now.
Very good. Seb, I think I seem to have Skype up and loaded. Can you see if I have volume on my Skype channel? Nick, are you there, sir?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Can we give him a little more
I'm
volume?
going to bump up. Hey, Nick, why don't you tell us what time you woke up this morning? Tell us a story about your day while I do the audio.
I woke up at all times this morning. I was up at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I don't think I got out of bed till 10, though.
Very nice.
You lucky bugger.
Yes, so kids at home, if you want to be a professional paintball player, they don't get out of bed until 10 a.m. So don't go to school, don't go to college. Nick said it, you heard it.
I took my first nap at work today at 10 a.m.
Hey, the flip side is that we've played 5 days straight, so...
Very good. Where have you guys been practicing?
We were practicing at Legends Paintball Field in Houston, Texas.
Ah, now are all things bigger down there?
A lot of things are, yes.
Wow.
Very good. Who are you practicing against?
We were playing against Art Chaos.
Ah,
Very nice. We were just talking about them earlier, actually.
Yeah, how do they look?
They look good.
Yeah,
They look good.
handsome?
We've had quite a bit of experience with a few other guys in the past, obviously,
Yeah.
them being on Heat. But they're looking good. They've got a few guys that are new to the team. Some new Russian players I've never heard of, as well as the addition of Clint Moore and Axel.
Some Russian players you've never heard of or you can't pronounce?
Well, either way.
Was my friend-
No, I mean, I never heard of it. I mean, that might be a little negative, but I haven't seen them play in paintball, competitive paintball in Europe or in the U.S., so it's always good, you know what I mean? If you can see new players come up to the pro ranks in any league from any nation, any place, that's good to see. And
Yeah,
that's
for sure. So Dallas is this week. You guys are ready for it. You guys have been practicing. Can I get your prediction? Who do you think is going to hit cream of the crop here?
Houston Heat.
Now, I should reframe my question. Nobody honestly cares about pro. We're talking D5. Who of the D5 teams are you?
The GI Sports All Stars.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Nick, how about that snake? Anybody excited about that cool looking snake?
A lot of the guys are really excited about it. This field play is really fast and very chaotic. At least it does for us and a lot of the games we had. But Chad George, Thomas Taylor, Sam Monville, Ryan Zahn, they get in there and they go crazy. They get up to that 50 snake really quick, and they get a lot of kills. And there's going to be a lot of bunkering, a lot of trading out up there. So I always like it when I'm not playing a point. I can sit back and just watch the chaos. And
did anyone else notice the name dropping? I know Nick Slowiak.
And can we get maybe your?
I gotta tune in. I gotta watch the chat box.
Can we get your thoughts on the 10.2 BPS rule change, perhaps, sir?
Just the 10.2,
or the coaching? But from what I heard from Chad, not Chad, with Sam, basically he's saying that you guys practice with no coaching, anyways. So it didn't seem to really matter to him, but.
Every time we practice, we don't have coaching,
right?
At all, really. I mean, there are a few times when you'll play with against another pro team where, it gets to the point where if they are coaching, you want to help your guys out and throw a couple words in there and let them know what the situation is.
Right.
But we never ever have coaching. So for us, this is just going to be another just trip in the park, I guess you'd say. We do have some really awesome weapons in Mama D, and now and having Greg Sewers on the team, getting his dad, their voices carry. So even though they'll be in the stands, that'll help us as much as it'll allow. But when it comes to the 10.2, I mean, it is what it is. As long as it's a level playing field and everyone's using it, I don't really care. I don't think changing the rate of fire to 10.2 is going to make the game any more exciting. I think the way this field layout is, if they would have thrown this field layout up, whether it be in the CXBL in Canada at 15 balls a second, or the AXBL, or any league, Millennium, PSP,
right?
If they would have put this layout last year at 12.5, it would be just as exciting because there's so many places you can go and so many people can get shot off the break. So
you don't think that the slower rate of fire is going to make the games a little more explosive, a little more quick?
I think obviously because the rate of fire is slow, the distance between balls, is there. Yeah, some people will probably get to some spots because the rate of fire is slower. But if you look at the top 10 teams, even in the top 5 teams, those top 5 teams are probably still going to be the top 5 teams. Mm-hmm. It's not going to change much. And so, their shots are on, their lanes on, snap shooting, running and shooting. That's all right. It's all there. Yeah. And we could all be shooting 8 balls a second, and I think it's still going to be the same. So whether it goes from 10.2 to 15, bless you.
Thank you.
I don't think the rate of fire is going to change. I think they just need to be the PSP needs to be really proactive with the layouts, and that'll change.
See, my prediction was with the lower rate of fire and with that field layout, I still predict. I know you're saying that, but I still predict they're going to have a little more explosive, maybe not breakouts, but mid game moves. I think the points are going to be shorter.
On this field, I don't think we've had a game go longer than a minute and a half.
Yeah.
People are dying. We're losing 1 to 3 people on the break.
Is the kill box the old style, or it's that house-looking thing that we saw for the last couple of games last year?
I don't know. They changed that up.
Yeah,
last year where it was a house, and then they changed it to just a wall.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people are not happy with that.
Yeah.
If you're in the penalty box, it really limits what you can do if you come out of it.
Right.
And it's not fun.
Yeah. Now, Joe Kimson has a question, and I'm going to ask it for him.
Yes. Hi, Nick. I have a question, but Tom will answer it.
Down at this event, where's a good place to get some food? What are you looking forward to?
For me?
Yeah.
In Dallas?
Absolutely. You must have a favorite haunt. Come on.
We've only been there once, so I haven't really had an opportunity to really explore the food. They do have In-N-Out Burger and Chick-fil-A there.
Nice. In-N-Out Burger's the way to go.
The staples are there, right?
Yeah. See, forget talking paintball. We're just going to talk food. That got everybody interested right there.
I do have another.
Hey, that's completely fine. I say we all meet up and just go get some food then.
I think so.
Hey, Nick, how's the Lux 3.0, aka OLED?
This bad boy right here?
I wish I could see it. I don't think you're.
He's showing it to you right now. He's got it booting up right now, and it's got Flappy Birds on it.
Oh
Yeah. It's, you know what? It's no. All right, good. Now it's off.
Nick,
It's great.
Nick,
know,
you
it's
are
a Lux
quite
and
good
all
at
the keyboard.
turning me on.
Did you try the secret mode on it?
No, there's no secret modes. I mean, it is nice to be able to do everything with a screen. But I say with the Lux, with how great guns shoot, with how smooth they are, all you got to do, really for me, I just need to turn it on, turn it off, and that's it. So, I mean, it's a great added function if you're, say for us, I guess, going up to Canada and playing the CXBL, going to Europe and playing the Millennium, to be able to, with the ease of having the board, the OLED board, to be able to switch between settings, specifically rate of fire, it's pretty handy. I mean, you just turn the gun on, hold the trigger down, and you're in programming mode, and you're good to go.
Now, speaking of the CXBL, we're going to do some coverage of that this year. You've had an opportunity to play up in Canada with the CXBL, as well as obviously down in the States with all the major leagues. How does the Canadian players compare to the U.S. players, aside from the fact that we apologize when we shoot you?
Well, I don't know. I've been shot by quite a few Canadians and have never apologized. Oh, man. I think I had a bounty on my head at one point, too. You know what? I started playing in the CXBL in 2007, and there were a lot more teams. And since the league has shrunk, the teams have shrunk that have played in the elite division now. The play has skyrocketed, and I know that there are quite a few Canadian players that could easily participate in the pro league on pro teams.
Good to hear. Very good to hear.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit of a fight for you when you come up. At least it's not just a cakewalk. A lot of people think they come up to Canada and it's not it's not a difficult go.
No, you know what I think, and I think it's a bad stereotype. I don't know if it would be a stereotype, but people hear about how the older U.S. pro teams have gone to Europe and just dominated in the past, and I think people instantly assume that if you travel internationally, say even going to Canada, you're just gonna beat these guys. But I mean, realistically, there are a lot of players in Canada that are only a few hours away, even that from the border, and travel back and forth and play in the U.S. quite a bit, and vice versa. So. Yeah. There's not a lot of difference. There are a lot of very good players in Canada who could easily be ranked pro or be playing on a professional team. Yeah. And it's just unfortunately, I think it's just the distance between those players and the pro teams here. But
very good.
What I'm hearing, Todd, is that Nick wants me on his team.
What'd you say?
It's Jamie talking. I'm just hearing that you want me on your team. That's all I heard out of that.
Hey, you can come and try out anytime, man.
Oh, try out.
Well, I mean...
You lost me there, Nick. Sorry, bud.
You don't have a visual on Nick, but he was doing air quotes when he said try out. So. Very good. So, Nick, we won't keep you much longer here. What's going to be the event that you're looking forward to the most this year?
Do
you like the World Cup venue? Are you... obviously, Dallas, you've only been there the one other time. But what event are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to all of them. I mean, Chicago's always a lot of fun because a lot of my family and my friends come out, my non-paintball friends that really don't associate with it at all. So that's always a lot of fun to go.
We're there as well.
Yes.
Well, I was going to get to that, right? We're supposed to have dinner in Dallas, so I mean, don't poop out on me yet.
Yeah.
Talking about food. Come on now.
Very good.
All the events are fun. So.
Yeah. And you think that with the last I'm not going to say last minute, but with the late arrivals of putting your team together, you guys think you're going to gel for the first event, or are we going to wait till later on in the season to see you guys come together?
I think we're gelling perfectly fine now.
Yep.
The true test is going to be on the field with the refs. We had a really good chance to do that earlier a couple weeks ago in California for an event, and that helped.
Okay.
So
now here's the question. Eric Engler in the chat forum writes, he would like to know who has the better hair, Nick Slowiak or Thomas Taylor?
Well, Thomas cut all his hair off, so...
well, then there's your answer right there.
I don't know what to say.
You win by default?
Very good.
You know what? I'll let the people decide.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know how you don't get a vote, Todd.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm in a whole other hair club for... Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Nick, for joining us, and we wish you guys well at PSP Dallas, and we'll get you back on the show before the next event and talk to you about how it went and how you guys are feeling for the next event for sure.
Sure thing, man.
Yeah, and I know it wasn't a stretch for you to be on the show because I know you watch every Monday night. We see you in the chat forum and interacting, so thank you very much for that.
I try and switch my name up as much as possible to be anonymous.
Very good. Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Nick. Good luck next week or this weekend, and we'll chat with you again shortly.
Bye, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right. See you
Thanks.
soon.
Bye, guys.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, that was Dick Slowiak, guys. Hopefully these guys are going to be able to get this team together, and we wish them good luck. We do have our Skype up that later in the program, guys. Once we get through some questions, we'll take a couple Skype calls if there's time. But for now, why don't we get to Matt? You have a couple questions.
Yeah, I do have a couple questions, but you never did answer about the Pinocchio. But I'll carry on.
Yeah,
anyhow.
I will look that up right now, actually.
Yeah, no worries. So Todd...
Excuse me.
No worries. So Todd Farenthold, are y'all coming to Dallas for both PSP and Pegasus Bridge?
I'll tell you what.
I got to mow my lawn.
Yeah, no, none of us,
My
unfortunately,
lawn
are
cutting
going.
weekend. Sorry.
We've got a couple events that we're doing locally. We might hit PSP Chicago this year, Joe and I, or we might hit, we'll definitely hit World Cup this year for sure. Yeah.
Can't go because we're in the rough.
Yeah.
We're doing our rough.
Matt, do you want to I have that question earlier. Do you want to reread it just in case people forgot what it was?
Oh, Pinocchio Speed getting a extended nose anytime soon.
I sent a message to Josh Silverman, one of the editors of X3 Paintball magazine, and he gave me an answer. He said no extended nose on the Speed. The Speed is intended to be our smaller, lighter, faster tournament-aimed hopper. So we wanted to keep a very small profile. We kept the nose detachable to aid in cleaning and maintenance. But there won't be a large nose on that hopper. So, yeah, maybe you'll see more of the pro teams and speedball guys using that in their day to day.
I have a question about the Pinocchio hoppers. I've never really used one. I've seen some people use them. Can someone please tell me what is so awesome about them?
I second that motion. Question, sir.
Legitimately asking these questions. Please give me one reason why I should switch to Pinocchio hopper from my Z2.
Well, it's hard to pry that strike load out of your hands when you're playing. So.
I know. Legitimately, please give me one very good reason.
I'm going to talk to Josh.
Not because it's better or because it holds more ammo. I'm not sold on that. I need to hear something.
I'm going to
different.
get Josh to send us a couple for us to have a look at, and then you can actually have a look and see. Maybe it is the cat's ass, maybe it's not, but at least you can figure it out for yourself and see what you think. Yeah.
I would like to try one. That's all.
I don't know either, right?
I know some people have it and that love them. I go, why do you like it? Well, because it holds more ammo. Well, there's got to be something else to it than that, right?
Yeah.
Looks like Matt pronounced his name wrong. It's Todd Fartshold. That's actually how you say his last name. Tells us, as we're told by.
Did he spell it phonetically?
Diablo Rios.
Phonetically.
Yeah. Were they on 4x6 recipe cards?
I probably just screwed up Diablo Rios while he was telling us how to pronounce Fartshold.
Worm SA says my Pinocchio has never jammed and it's cheaper.
Is it
price
really
point?
cheaper
That's a valid
though?
point.
What's the price point on a Pinocchio?
Yeah, it's still probably at least $100.
Yeah. You know what? Let's. It's too bady we didn't have Dusty here, our research guy. He could look that up for us right now.
It's never jammed. My Z2's never jammed.
Yeah.
I had a Halo before. They never jammed.
See, that's the thing. I mean, you look at guys that you look at the automotive end. I know people that have never driven anything other than Chevys and say that they're the best. Can you honestly say that that's true?
If you've only ever driven the Chevy.
I've had Chevys, Fords. I've had Dodges. I don't know. I think it's all the same.
I don't know. I still like my Maserati.
Yeah.
Nice. Don't stray.
My Maserati does 185.
I like my Renault.
Pretty Lou has seen footballs go through a Pinocchio.
The way I see this is you have a bigger mass on top of you have more things that can be hit by a
larger
roaming paintball.
We should probably just ask Geppetto why Pinocchio is better.
Yeah. I'm being told that they range anywhere between $90 and $129.
I was told the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say
I
Canadian.
was as
It's
well.
$139. Can you even buy them in Canada?
That's 200 Canadian.
I don't know if there's any Pinocchio retailers. You can get I think you can get a Pinocchio at the Disney store, but
Toys
I don't
R
know.
Us.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Let's move on to these
I
questions.
can tell when Todd's going to rein us back in.
Yeah. All right then.
All right.
All right.
Let's
We
get
can
over
just shut these idiots up for a minute.
It's all talk on top of each
Okay,
other.
next question is for Jamie.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's Seb's turn.
Hit it.
Richard Clemens asks, should pepper rounds be used on cheaters?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You don't always know why somebody cheated. Maybe it wasn't a cheat.
Yeah.
Maybe it was innocent.
There you go. Neil Haley asked, do you think that this MagFed fad will bring back interest in pure stock class play?
Similar
No.
to stock class.
No, because
No.
it's similar, but stock class is
Not constant air.
not constant air. It's not mag fed.
But if you
What
if
is
you-
stock class for people that might
12
not
gram,
know what it is?
12 gram stick feed, 10 rounds. But you could use a TPX on 12 gram, and that would be very similar to stock class.
You have to talk into the mic.
Sorry, I was looking at
He
people.
was talking to Zuby.
You could argue that both ways. I think I can see your point, but I can also see how it's not.
A stock class like a Carter pump or Carter comp has a 10 round feed tube, whereas a TPX only has a 7 round mag. So,
yeah,
it's almost close.
Going back to that last question about the pepper ball.
Yes.
We were talking to the Tippmann guys. They have the Tippmann has a branch of their company that has a less than lethal branch, and they sell a pepper ball that goes with a TPIX that's fluorescent orange. That's meant for self defense
safety
and
orange.
Safety orange, more day glow. I thought. But
safety orange.
we were having conversation about that, and we thought, it'd be nice to shoot a video where we just shoot a guy in the chest and see what his reaction with that pepper ball. But that pepper ball is nasty stuff. Someone else in the chat forum, who I won't name because I don't know if I should, said on the way out when Joe and I were talking about Extravaganza, he said he got shot with a pepper ball. He didn't get shot. A pepper ball broke
In his workshop.
in his workshop. And he had to take everything out and clean it. And even to this day, if he moves stuff around, he can still get that sense of the pepper ball in the air.
Yeah,
Was it Geppetto?
Anybody that says they think they should use them or
That's
they
how the
think they're
Pinocchio
cool
loader was born.
has never been shot with one.
Yeah, I'll
I'll tell you that right now. And anybody that thinks that tasers are fun have never been tased before.
Maybe this is something that we should address when Gavin's back, because it might be something that TerraTech's looking into.
If you weren't an infidel, Zuby, you wouldn't have that problem.
All I know is I would not
7.62 for
let
life.
anybody shoot one of those pepper balls within,
No, being pepper sprayed is awful.
I can only imagine.
got
All right, sorry. I
pepper
didn't
sprayed
mean to
one night
derail that.
was
I just wanted to get
hanging
back to
out by
that.
Seb's
No,
window.
it was good.
Bastard.
Next question. I was Todd that time.
Jamie, did you have one?
Thanks, guys. Why don't you throw in the next question there? So,
Also,
By the way,
Diablo
sir.
Rios is saying in the chat forum that pepper balls are 8 pepper balls for $20. That's inexpensive.
Yeah, but
I
if
think.
it can stop someone from breaking into your house, then so be it. It's
Yeah.
the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Well, this next question is for Jamie from Sam Sanders. Why wouldn't PSP go to quarters instead of points over dropping BPS and coaching in the still race to 7?
Huh?
I got a great.
Should I ask you that in French, perhaps?
Yeah.
We
Why wouldn't we paint the trees yellow and orange and let them all go play woods ball with their bright pajamas on?
It's actually a pretty hard question to answer.
I don't even know if I'd have an answer to that one.
Sam, we'll get back to you next week. Let me consult with Dusty on that one.
That was too advanced for me.
We
Sam.
my
might
subject matter expert.
we might care next week.
I'm
Send it back in.
just a simple woods ball guy.
All right, let's keep this show going. Well, let's get a couple more questions.
Questions?
Sure, why not?
We got about 10 more minutes here.
Oh, do we?
15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
10.
So Ian James asks, can I get an autographed BTB sticker from the complete cast and crew?
Sure. Send us a stamped self-addressed envelope to 310 King Street East in Cambridge, Ontario. Postal code is Norman 3 Hotel 3 Mary 8. We will happily sign it with a Sharpie of the color of your choice, and we will drop it in your stamped self-addressed envelope to your home address.
Now,
we will
I got a
even
question.
give you 2.
He says complete cast and crew.
I'd like to
That's
know
a
who he's
lot of
referring to.
people.
That is.
Who is that?
Who is that?
We've had a lot of cast and crew over the past.
The current
However
complete
long.
cast and crew, or the how long? We don't have a time machine.
And
We
with
can't
Jamie,
go
we're
back
probably
in
going to
time.
have a couple new ones, too.
Yeah. You never know what I'm going to have to sign on that.
Yeah, very good. If you want to send an email to show@behindthebunker.com, if you missed Joe's address, we're going to get you to send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and we'll send you out some stickers. And if anybody wants stickers in general, just send us that, and we'll fill an envelope full of stickers and send them your way.
According to my lawyer, if I write "per" in front of my name, it releases me from a lot of liability.
PER or PURR?
PER.
That's how the cat shack does. His is per.
Yeah. Can't sue a cat. Yeah. All right, let's keep this thing going. Zuby's rubbing his forehead, which means we need to. Yeah.
He'll be okay.
My eyes are burning.
Well, he won't be okay.
At least he didn't have his paw in his whiskers.
We can't fix him on this show.
No.
And the next question is
maybe on the Airsoft Hour. I don't know.
Yeah. That's coming up next.
Who's next, me or Matt?
Yeah, go for it, Seb.
Go for it, Seb. Right?
Sure. This is a question directed to all the parents out there, apparently, from Marcus C. Should paintball be considered an acceptable form of punishment when your kid misbehave? And I'm not making this up. This is right here.
It's people like that they're going to get this sport thrown out.
Yeah,
I think any paintball should be done in a safe, controlled environment, and I don't think should be used as a discipline. If your child likes to participate in paintball activities and they are doing something that you deem inappropriate, you might, as a punishment, remove their ability to play paintball for a specified amount of time, i.e. grounding them. But I don't think you should send little Johnny out in the backyard and tell him to run as you shoot him.
If you're relying on paintball to be disciplinary action against your child, I'm pretty sure there's something else you can do, like, I don't know, be a parent.
Make them knee on rice in a corner.
Marbles.
Or frozen peas.
Frozen peas, that's in Japan, right?
Walk on Lego.
Well, or Quebec, or
we
France.
don't kill the poor kid.
I've seen that over
in
there.
Quebec, they pour hot poutine on them.
Somewhere Child Protective Services are watching.
Yeah.
They pour hot gravy on you.
If that's your idea of discipline, you can hop back on your sister and leave your son alone.
Yeah, there you go, Jamie.
Wow.
Here's your cold poutine. I spit in it.
Please strike what Jamie just said from the record.
Why, he's right.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm an expert on the topic.
We shouldn't have to strike things from the record if they're correct.
So Jonathan, with the last name difficult to pronounce, asks, love the show, and is the paintball industry going from 68 cal to 250 cal?
Ooh.
I think you'll see one of the major manufacturers embrace 250 caliber as a component to be used in certain types of games or scenarios.
Why, Joe? Is there an advantage, you think? Disadvantage?
No, I think you'll see some objects being shot out of 250 cal devices that would be used to take out tanks and bunkers, similar to rockets.
Yeah.
You could also see the advent of loaders that go on your back and they carry a large volume of paint and they feed your gun with a hose.
I think he was asking, is it going to replace a 68 cal?
I don't think so.
And
no.
I don't see it replacing it. Maybe as an addition.
Yeah, because you only get like maybe one round per pod,
unless you use the Pinocchio.
You know what I see in the future? .67 caliber replacing .69. Just saying. Joe loves that comment.
Before we go any further, I also want to remind anyone that listening at home, we gave this week's show's winner, the LL7. Wow, am I losing it tonight? Living Legend 7 pass that we gave away tonight went to Shelby Spear. And if you guys would like to win another one, we're giving away 4 more. This week we're going to draw again for another one. All you need to do is go to our Instagram page and like it. It's Behind the Bunker on Instagram. And all of our users on Instagram, we're going to put into a draw next week, and one person will win another pass.
If Shelby's listening now, please call in live to Todd's cell phone. The number is...
It starts with a 1976. Very good. Our Skype is also open, and we're watching our chat roll as well, so if you have any questions, get them up on there. Otherwise, who's got the next question?
I do.
Nice.
Question from Robert Manatuwabi. With all the paintball games you've attended, what was the most memorable missions you have taken part of? Need some ideas? What would you like to see in a paintball game? Come on, guys. Let's get a game going for paintball players, designed by Paintball Player. To enhance big game experiences, let's hear some stories.
No stories?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say, what do we call? I can't remember which game it was. What's the fall big game, Joe?
The one, which one last year?
A Phoenix Project?
Yeah, Phoenix Project. Nice.
Sorry.
Wow, that was, I played enough of them. You think I'd remember the name of it, but not last summer, summer before we played, and we actually brought out a whole squad, which was nice. If you can play a big game and get out a whole squad yourself, so you've got an engineer in your squad, you've got a radio guy, you've got a medic, and you can do missions all together with your friends. I did one with my son, a bunch of his friends, a bunch of my friends, and probably the most memorable day of paintball because you're all together for the day.
Yep.
And it's fun. It's fun to go out and meet new people, but it's also fun when you can go out and have your own squad to work with for the day. So,
I have a story of one that I would not want to do again. Joe and I were at a big game many years ago. I won't mention the field because it's ridiculous, the mission that we ran. But the mission was to go to X corner, grab a crate, and bring that crate back to wherever. I don't remember the specifics, but I remember finally finding the crate. It was up on the top of a ravine. The boundary rope was at the top of the ravine, so the only way down was going down the ravine or along the very top of it. And what the crate was that we were getting was something that was, I would say, half the size of a coffin, and we found later on that it was filled with bricks. Do you remember this one, Joe?
Yes, I recall.
So
you
we
did
had
that to me at a Phoenix Project.
Yeah, it's different.
So we had to lug this
people
thing
carry stupid
along the
crate
top
in.
of a ravine, hurting ourselves, shooting down at guys, shooting up at us. It was ridiculous. When we finally got back there, we either ran out of time or it wasn't worth the points that we did. It was frustrating. It did not want to go back to that field again. It was the most ridiculous mission. I could have sat in the staging area squeegeeing my barrel and had more fun.
I got a cord in my bell. He said,
Zuby, have you had any good missions at any scenario games? You and I had one at a game 2 years ago that you and I played. They had like this I would say castle, and they had a moat all the way around it, and they had a couple culverts through.
Oh yeah, we cleaned house.
That wasn't bad, but the only downside is it was within 100 meters of the opposing general's base, and not only did we take that, we ended up sending a couple guys, and they just literally walked over and took the general's base and got the general out of there. But
Wolf, how did that feel?
Oh, that's right. He was that was Wolf against.
I did that to him 3 times that day.
Yeah, the teams were a little stacked that day, weren't they?
Well, we had you, me, and Sonny Lopez. Who else was there?
Sarge was on our team.
Sarge was there. But we had someone else. Who was there with Sonny?
Chuck Norris.
Kaz was on our team.
Well, Kaz doesn't play paintball. He's not real.
I'm just trying to think who else we had. I can't
No,
remember.
Kaz was on the other team.
Oh, we had Will.
Shot him in the
Will from Valken was on our team.
Yeah, Valken Will was there. But there was another pro player there, wasn't there?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
We all 4 of us went out with the pump.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I remember back in the 80s. Joe, you and I did a mission back in the 80s.
Yes, back in the 80s.
We got in your square Tahoe.
Yes.
And the part of the mission was to travel to Michigan to a paintball field we'd never been to. On that mission, we had to dodge a lot of dead deer on the road because we were in northern Michigan.
That's right.
And there was a...
do you remember that transport? The tire fell off the transport and we went up on the hill. And
the transport tire fell off in front of us. I mean, these are missions that we had to do just to get to play paintball. You kids today don't know how easy you've got it.
You kids today.
Yeah. We had to do missions before we did missions.
Hey, guest 721 in the chat asks, if you play scenario affects your way that you play speedball. So
I know, I tried reading that too.
So I'm just taking it as, if you play scenario, does that affect the way you play speedball? Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Guys that play scenario, and don't take this the wrong way because I love both speedball and scenario, but when you play speedball, you get very tunnel visioned, you get concentrated on making sure that your team has your back, and you listen for them so that you're only looking at and doing what your job is. And that's
Minding
the point.
your own lane.
When you play speedball, you have a job, it is your job to do that and nothing more, nothing above it. But when you get a good scenario player who plays, scenario games all the time, and he learns that he can't look through one window for the entire time. He has to look around him because teams are constantly flanking. His team gets annihilated and he's by himself all of a sudden. So I think when you're playing scenario, you learn far more about keeping your heads up and looking around and being more cognizant of what's going on around
and
you.
Paint conservation, I'm sure.
Paint conservation for sure.
And where to eat.
Yes, of course.
For sure.
Playing Scenario, you learn that paint doesn't solve everything.
Yeah. A good, well-rounded player will learn
Did you
how
like
to
that,
play
Matt?
pump.
It was okay.
Oh, you
Will
like that?
also
Yeah.
play a lot of Scenario.
Paint is not the solution.
And also, do drills and skills with a speedball guy. If you can do all three of those, you're going to get the best of all, best of all worlds.
All right, I got another question. Nicholas Fontaine. How would people feel if in Milsim you needed only a head or upper torso hit to kill? And could it become a thing? I think it would be interesting.
I don't agree with doing that. I don't agree with that headshot only kills.
He said waist up.
He said waist up.
I know, but waist up.
Get your facts straight.
Very quickly becomes headshot only and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
to be able to say you specifically can only hit one part of a person, it kind of ridiculous.
It's difficult.
Well, it is Milsim. How serious do they want to take it?
But Zuby's right. A hit is a hit is a hit as far as I'm concerned. I mean, where does your hit begin? If you jack your pants up to the underneath of your boobs, do you have a smaller kill area? Well, I'm being serious, right?
Don't laugh. Due to a ordering error last year of team uniforms, I can do that.
Wasn't that why boxers have those shorts that go up to their nipples pretty much?
Pants are huge.
So when you get shot in the leg, do you have to limp? But you can play on?
It's just far easier as a
but
ref.
a flesh wound.
It is a flesh wound.
Only a flesh wound.
It's far easier to ref if you have anywhere that's hit you're hit. And I don't like this gunshots don't count.
That's
I don't.
ludicrous.
I honestly don't believe it teaches people proper paintball
play.
form. Like if you can say no gun hits count, then people just stick their marker out a window and just sit there and wail on people. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, you got no sense of where you are and what's attached to you.
I
so
agree with what you're saying
pointless.
for Woodsball, and I agree with that. Just these guys are talking Milsim and how, how much of a simulation do you want it to be?
CX4 Explosive in the chat says Scenario is great to develop field sense. I guess that would be a good term to use, field sense.
Yeah, but I could argue that speedball is also a very
good to develop nonsense.
Okay.
Well, I can say by far that speedball, I wouldn't say encourages it, but does not help break the idea of tunnel vision.
Yeah, it encourages tunnel vision because I shouldn't say tunnel vision. It encourages one to do.
It doesn't
one's
break
job.
down the boundaries.
Yeah.
It focuses on it.
When you as a speedball player have a task to do, you have a lane to shoot, you have a bunker to guard. If you look away or get off of that target, then you get ostracized, right? So it's the complete opposite on Scenario. I mean, yes, you have that objective to do, but you've got to be heads up out there.
But you know what? I am seeing a trend in speedball where, like, if you look at Ollie Lang last year, he's more of a well-rounded player now. Where before, 8 years ago on, he was a snake guy. Like, he was, great off the breakout. But now, I'm seeing a lot more well-rounded player where they can be a back, they can be a snake player. Like,
you know who I think is a well-rounded player, and not him specifically, but people like Mr. U, who plays for the Ironman, but also goes out and plays on the Die Tactical team. He's out there at big games every couple of weekends. You get people like him.
Mr. Me?
I mean, Frazier too is great. Ryan Moorhead.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good.
Jamie King.
Yes, you are. Jamie
Thanks,
King.
guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, guys, we have time for maybe one more question. Let's try and sneak one more in, and then we have to...
It's nearly blacklist time.
no more Hawaii 5-0?
No, it's not on. It's on Friday nights.
Oh.
She's not your girlfriend.
Blacklist.
She's your target.
Trying to find a good question to end the show on, but I can't. So I'm going to ask this one.
It's not a show-ending quality question.
Please say the person's name, too, so they can feel good about themselves.
This is actually, I like to know the answer to this as well. Tim Zablekis?
Zabrickus?
Yes, could be Zabrickus. Will the HK Army KLR ever be released?
Yes.
3 weeks.
You're actually going to see it. I understand, and don't quote me on this, but last I heard is you're going to see it this week at Dallas for sale. I'm not going to tell you my source, and I'm not going to say it's 100% true, but I heard that that's where they're going to be released. So if you want one bad enough, send some money down, and you might be able to get one. Now, Seb, Ryan, guest in the chat, says it's not true. Ollie Lang played all over the field and started in the woods, but that helps encourage your point.
That's what I was saying there, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ollie Lang is a well-rounded player, but now that it's the first thing that came to mind, actually.
Yeah.
The guy I really wanted to mention.
Angel was the Nick guy.
Guys, I'd just like to point out that
Jamie King.
Ryan used the word angel there, and I'd like to have a disclaimer.
Yeah, can
Ryan
you hit
wrote
your
that.
button there about the
Ryan wrote that
opinion?
word, not me.
Now, Jamie, can we find out what your new position is? Have you signed your deal yet?
We haven't signed it, but I guarantee you that next Saturday it comes.
Whoa.
The release. The release.
The release.
Oh.
AKA.
I said
Pop
next
Shop.
Saturday, didn't I?
You did.
Saturday.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Because the show's so exciting, it feels like a Saturday night to me. Next
Very
Monday
good.
is going to be the big release and paintball poetry.
Speaking of big release, Tuesday is the release for Titan Falls for all you gamers out there.
Yeah,
Titan Falls. Check it out, folks. It's good.
Very good.
Awesome.
You ever
All right,
played
guys.
Asteroids?
Why don't we Frogger?
Asteroids, you know the one where it just
I had
spins?
this, Jamie. Did I ever tell you the story? I used to have this hangout when I was in high school, and we used to go there every lunch hour and play Frogger.
Sick.
And I got the high score in it, and I went back there because they were closing the.
Was
the,
that kind of day where there's just the right amount of pizza grease on the
exactly?
joystick?
Well,
Yeah.
I went back a couple weeks ago because I heard they were closing, so I thought I'd go in for one last slice, and
Sorry.
the guy was selling the machine. So I got a guy who had a truck, an electrician, and he kept the battery,
Enzo's.
the Frogger machine live, so I wouldn't lose my score.
Nice.
Yeah, the only problem is I had to take the Frogger machine and cross it across a road to get to the truck, and it was I inevitably didn't play well enough, and the truck drove it over. But
Oh, man.
Did you lose your high score?
I lost my high score.
Where
I
is it
lost the
now,
whole machine.
Frogger?
Where is it now?
Did you take
Bollocks.
home some of the parts?
All I did was yell Serenity now, and I was fine. So.
Insanity later.
All right, guys, and with that, I'm going to
Insanity
end the
later.
program. Thank you, Josh Subis-Brickus, for being in,
Oh, thank you, Todd.
and Josh or Joe Kimson from Flagler's Paintball,
We're all
Thank you very
Joshes.
much for having me.
and Josh King.
Josh King, yes.
Thank you for being in from an unknown company, which will be revealed on Saturday. And Matt and Seb, thank you for being in,
Next
answering all the
Saturday's
questions.
Yep.
Did we get through them all, or do you still have more?
I
tons.
picked and choosed. Just
Choose?
some
So did I.
Chose.
Okay.
Chose.
We'll get the
Choose
rest
my
of them
favorites.
next week, as well as the rest of them.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys for joining us. We will see you guys next week on our show. Just a reminder, if you want to win a ticket to Living Legends 7, that includes 2 cases of paint, entry, air, as well as a free hug from Sean Scott, all you need to do is go over to our Instagram and like it. And next week we will draw from that.
And I'll be making an appearance this Wednesday at Flag Raiders Indoor in Kitchener.
See you then.
Very nice. All right, guys, so with that, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week.